Afternoon, everybody. How we doing? We're back. We're back again. We are back again with something a bit different. Might not be to a lot of people's likings, but it's in for repair, so we've got to have a look at it, haven't we? We've got to have a look. And so we've got loads of people in so far. I think we had Brett in first today, but he's disappeared off the top. I'm pretty sure Brett was in. Chris is in. Chris sent me a payment. Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Michael Hyde. Hi, Michael. Aaron's in. Gloomy. Yeah, it's not great here, Aaron, either. Wenlock. How you doing, Wenlock? Trying to stay up for this one. You hopefully be able to give me some advice on this, Wenlock. Hi, Dorf. Ralph's in. Fitting a micro USB socket. Yeah, that's fun to fit. Brett's been looking forward for it for 2 weeks. Yeah, apologies, it kept getting put off, didn't it? Because I had problems with the TV. But the TV issues, thanks to Les and you chaps on here, is now sorted. So we do have a TV to try this out on. Rob's radio channel. How you doing, Rob? Matamble, coffee brewing. Twister. We don't got no twisters over here. Mick refuses. Hi, Mick. Timothy's in. Hi, Timothy. You got rid of the floaty heart thing. He's spoiling all my little heart things. Oh dear. David, how you doing, David? David Tag. Rob Tiveridge, hi Rob. Benji's in, hi Benji. We get severe weather alerts via cell phones. They are working on that, Chris. They did try it a while back, but it wasn't very successful apparently. So they're still working on it. Afternoon, Derek Cooper. Les is in. Afternoon, Les. Hope you're feeling a bit better, mate. Les has been a bit under the weather. Would I try and fix a PlayStation next? Not really. I'm not geared up for it, Rob, to be fair. I mean, this is old technology. It depends which PlayStation you mean, really. PlayStation 1 and 2 I would probably have a go at. PlayStation 3 maybe, but 4 and beyond probably not. Unless it was mine, then I'd have a go, but I certainly wouldn't fix it for other people. Where's the finger? No finger dids. Got no finger to go in me today. I've got the abbots come to visit, but now the bishop and his finger are not with me today. Mick McGinn, afternoon, Mick. Afternoon, Jess. Yes, Nintendo. It's not something I've ever done before. No, Chris. No, the Patrolman was going to be today, but this one was before it. So this has been with me for quite some time. So Patrolman is in the queue, Chris, and hopefully we'll be back with you. Be back with us on the live stream next week. Hi, Yaz, how are you? Harb's in. Hi, Harb, how are you doing, mate? Hope you're doing all right. Gier, hi, Gier. Sunny, warm North Norway. Abbott's thumb. Could be. Multi, afternoon, Multi. Yeah, so we've just got the whole abbots to go in today, and we've got a champion as well. So yeah, we've got a couple nice beers to keep me going. So yeah, last week we made a start on Chris's realistic Patrolman, which was a cracking radio. As I say, this Nintendo's been with me for a good few weeks. So it is first in the queue, really. I only jumped Chris's couple radios in front of it because the TV wasn't working. So update on the telly. Basically, Les came over on Wednesday. I got the last capacitor from Farnell's, popped that in. We turned it on, and it worked. It works now on the mains. So thanks very much to you all and to Les for sorting that. We did plug the Nintendo in. You know, spoiler alert, we did plug the Nintendo in, and it worked. Pac-Man worked lovely. And then it crashed, and then it wouldn't work again properly. So there is some issues. We have got some issues still. And I think I know what the issue is, but we'll get to that in a bit. Aston's in. How you doing, Aston? Rich, good to have you back, mate. Hope you're feeling okay, mate. Rob, thanks very much for the super chat. The last capacitor, yeah. You've never played on any Nintendo? I can't say I have. I mean, my kids had Game Boys back in the day. Is that Nintendo? It's Nintendo because Sega was something else. I think Game Boy was Nintendo's. They were mad on them things. With the Pokemon. Pokemon was the thing back in the day. Oh, sorry to hear that, Chris. Our condolences to you, mate. Yeah, not good losing a parent, mate. I've been there. Sorry to hear that. So here it is in all its glory. It's not looking in bad condition. It's not overly yellowed. We did have a look at this the other week, didn't we? So I've got the two controllers plugged in at the moment, but nothing else. While I had it working, I did have one of the controllers working. I didn't really get around to trying them both because, as I say, it crashed. But both controllers are there and they look in good nick. Yeah, overall it's in pretty good nick. There's a couple, it's got like a bit of a chip in the corner here where someone's dropped it a bit hard and it's cracked that corner out. Apart from that, it's looking good. It has got a hookup for audio and video on the side with phono connectors or RCA connectors. And then round the back is where the power goes. And the RF cable, which is basically a tele cable. So yeah, there it is, ready to get on the telly. And the TV, let's get the TV up just to show you. There's the telly all back together in all its glory. The good old Goodman set that luckily you chaps found the schematic for, because without that we really couldn't have been sure with that that other resistor, really. That did stump us. So yeah, that's what we've got to do. This is working now at long last. So before we hook that up, I'm going to grab a beer. There's not going to be a lot of room on my bench to start with, because I'm going to show you what it's doing. It might have settled. It might have sorted itself. Thank you very much, Chris. Not played on any of those things, just not your thing. How do you know it's not your thing if you've never played on them? Super Mario Brothers, yeah. Yeah, and Sega was got to be Sonic the Hedgehog, wasn't it? Because, I mean, this was sort of out around the time... Did the Mega Drive come out after? So I think this is 1985. I think the Mega Drive was slightly after this. Didn't they have the Master System first, was it? Sega, that is. Then they had the Mega Drive, so this would have been out with the Master System, I think. I'm not a big console guy. I always had Sony stuff as far as consoles was concerned, apart from the Mega Drive. And computers was Commodore, so I'm Commodore, Sega, and then I went to PCs basically. Well, I didn't. Yeah, Amiga, that's Commodore as well, isn't it? Shut up, Graham. You don't know what you're going on about. You're banging on again about nothing. Sandra, how you doing, Sandra? He's polishing his new Vice. Very nice. Did you treat him, Sandra, did you? Anyway, I'm going to get the Abbott. The Abbott's going in. Got to go in, isn't it? You love the NES, Chris, do you? Well, this, as I say, this is one of Mrs. Cruncher's friends from work. So, she used to play it, I think, when they were a lot younger, or their kids played it. I'm not sure, but I think they've got it out of somewhere. It smells like the loft, to be fair, because it is very musty smelling. So it might just need a bit of a service, this one, to get it up and running again. But we'll go further into that in a minute. I'll show you what where we are at the moment. Not poured that out very well, have I? You know. Cheers, everybody. Let's get my phone out of the way. Just got a message saying I'm live, which is good news. Do you need a TV license for those old TVs? Good question, Jess, really. I suppose if you can receive television on it via whatever means, then yes, you would need a license for it, wouldn't you? Because your license is for viewing, not really for the equipment, isn't it? So if I could hook this up to a source and play telly on it, which I can do, then in theory I would need a TV license to use it. But I don't believe you need a TV license for streaming. So if you've got rid of all your telly and you just watch Netflix and Amazon and Sky, all the rest of it, I don't think you need a TV license for that, do you? See, the TV license in the UK was always linked to BBC One. Well, sorry, BBC in general. So, I mean, if you can receive BBC on something like Sky, surely you'd need a license for that. But I think on streaming services, just like Netflix, Amazon, that sort of thing, you wouldn't need a license. But I think for YouTube, that sort of thing. But I think probably for Sky, because you can probably get BBC programs on Sky, you would still need a license. I think. I don't know the ins and outs, to be fair. I'm sure someone here will do. You're spoiling him, Sandra. Favourite PC was the RISC PC, which was the Duck's Guts of the BBC range. Didn't really ever use the BBC. They used him in schools, but that was after my time, really. I mean, I'd left school, really, when all these computers came out. Would you not use that TV in your living room? It's a 10-inch portable, Rob. It used to be used in my caravan back in the day. That's what I bought it for, because it works on 12 volt and 240 volt. So I used to take it away with a little digital TV box and watch TV through that. And I believe we had to have, I think we had to have a separate TV license for the caravan. I can't remember now, but it's, yeah, I don't know. You more of a Sonic Hedgehog the person? Yeah, myself too. Space Invaders, yeah. Pac-Man, I was never really good at Pac-Man. Mrs. Cruncher's brilliant at Pac-Man, but I'm terrible. Hi Andrew, how are you? You restored your Amiga PSU by keeping the original case and using a Meanwhile PSU to replace the internals. I've seen that done before, Andrew. That's it's a bit of a squeeze, isn't it? Because you've got to have different voltages. You've got to have AC and DC, I think, coming out of it. Or am I getting mixed up with the Commodore 64? Not really sure. TV license is a money racket. Yeah, you need a TV license to watch live TV. You say that, I mean, yeah. Yeah. Hi, David, how are you? Glad to see you with us, mate, anyway. Still trying to get all of this beer in the tankard. It's not a glass, is it, really? Where's our summer going, though? I mean, we're nearly in August already, look. It'll soon be time for the Christmas live streams again. That's going to be fun. Now I'm working. I'm going to be pretty knackered, aren't I? For a month. Yeah, good call, Chris. Now we do watch. Mrs. Cruncher loves to watch the news, so that's got to be live, isn't it? She likes watching the news in the mornings, so we've still got a TV license which we pay monthly for. I don't know how much it is. It's too much, isn't it? Oh, the Amiga's 3 different DC voltages, Andrew. With you now, it must be the Commodore 64 then that's got the AC on it. Days we either get no summer or too much summer. I know we had our summer back in June, didn't we? It's mentally hot. This month's been a bit of a washout, really. I've been trying to paint the house. I managed to paint the first coat on the back of the house, but that's as far as I've got because of the weather. So Brett's saying the NES are quite bulletproof. Mucky edge connectors. I've heard the edge connector is a big issue in these. More than not the game cartridge that fault. Okay. Can you reflash the ICs in the games cartridges, Brett? It is to pay for the BBC, Aaron, yeah. I know, it's a big bone of contention, the TV license. It always has been, it always will be. Especially when they got rid of the free TV license, didn't they, for the was it the over 60s had free TV license, or was it over 65s? I can't remember now. But they did away with that, which caused a bit of an uproar. You've never tried, Brett? You must be able to reprogram the EEPROM. Okay. No live TV till the NFL starts up. We can watch that over here, but it's not really televised over here, Chris. So let's go back to the NES then. I've got the original power supply with it. So that's here, which is good news. If we pop it up, it took me a while to work out how to eject it. We've actually got Pac-Man. Now it could be that this game is dodgy or the edge connector's dirty, so we're going to need to try and take that apart. It's got some weird anti-theft screws in there, which we should be able to find a tool to fit them. So we need to probably take this apart and give that a clean. I don't know if there's any batteries in there for memory backup. I don't know if there's any little capacitors in there that might have failed. It could be just hanging on the edge, this one, so got to be careful. So yeah, the dreaded slot I can see in the back there. And it does smell like the back of the wardrobe, you know, like that damp sort of smell, the loft smell. So I think this has probably been in the loft for a number of years, which I think is probably the main reason it's not working, because I'm thinking corroded edge connector. So it is a bit of a job to get into that. You've got to strip the whole thing apart. So I'm going to get things moving here. I'm going to start plugging things in a minute. And then I'll have another quick sip of my beer. Ben, how you doing, mate? De-rusting the bench vise. So let's get the television up behind, so you can sort of see them both. Incidentally, I've got a BMW 6 Series airbag ECU in, but the chap Stu, aka Dave, he dropped it in the other week, but I haven't got round to having a look at it properly yet, and he's gone and bought another one. So I think it might just be something simple like capacitors in that one, because I can't see anything else. I've looked at it under the microscope and it looks immaculate to me. Right, that's the telly plugged in. Switch it on. Hopefully it won't go bang and it will still work. Yay! We have a TV working. At least we got some in. Right, so the RF cable I've got plugged in the back of the telly, this one. That's got to go in the back of the Nintendo into the RF hole there. Now, I did tune the telly to this, whether it's retained its settings, I don't know. And we need to plug the Nintendo in. No, how am I going to do that? I haven't got enough plug sockets here, really, have I? So we're going to lose one of the bench lights then. Oh, damn, wrong plug. Lose the bench light at the back. Won't hurt for today. Let's plug that in. Now we can check what we've got coming out of that. It is supposed to be, I doubt whether it's regulated, but it might be 9 volts, 1.2 volt, 2 amps, sorry. 9 volts, 1.2 amps. That's quite a hefty supply, really, isn't it? It's obviously linear because it's quite hefty. So let's have a quick look, see what that's doing. If I can get it so it's not glaring. We do get some strange stuff to repair here, don't we? So let's go centre pin negative, is that right? Okay. And where's AC? Hang on, is it AC or is it DC? AC! Ah, that nearly caught me out, didn't it? I'm sure you're all screaming at the... So it looks like it's centre pin negative, but it's chucking out 11 volts offload, so there must be a regulator inside this, I'd have thought. So that is working. So it's switched off at the moment. Let's plug that in. Turn our telly back on. Zoom you out a little bit more. Okay. So let's hit the power button. There's nothing in there at the moment, but I'm assuming something will come up. Okay, so we've got a blinking light. I think that just means that we haven't got a cartridge in. So let's just power it off again. Turn it up. Let's plug this thing in. Doesn't look like it's got any dust in there or damp, but you never know. Push that down. Power it on again. Still nothing. Okay. Let's give it, what should we do? We'll give it a bit of air. Let's give it a bit of a blow with the air duster in there a minute. And with this, just in case there's a bit of dust in there. It's doing that flashing thing again. Let's try resetting it. Nope. This is strange because it did actually work the other day because I was playing it rather badly. See, now the light's not. So I think it's got a problem with the edge connector, but I did get it going the other day. Ah! There it is. Now, will it work? Ah, see, it's corrupted. Let's try resetting it. It's crashed again. Reset. No, it's crashed again. So I think the issue is going to be either the game or the what am I trying to say? What are you trying to say, Graham? It's either going to be the game or the cartridge port. So I think probably it's the port inside that's causing the problem. Now, I did find an absolutely brilliant site this morning, well, not this morning, just now actually, that had quite a lot of information on these machines. Let's just catch up with the let's catch up with the chat. Proms, EPROMs. I think you use mask ROMs. Pac-Man's eating the edge connector. Very good, Mick. Liking it. Games on the Nintendo have the G, Jess? Stored on the EEPROM in the cartridge, right? Yeah. Hi, Thomas. How are you, mate? Hope you and Susie are okay. Does a composite work on the TV? I've not got a cable to try it, Brett. They have a Nintendo Game Boy in the Science Museum. Jeez. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Andrew. I think it was coming up as a warning light on the dash, the airbag module. Aaron's thinking maybe the cartridge isn't being detected. I suspect so. Dodgy caps in the PSU might be. IPA cotton sword. Just at dinner. That was a quick one, Rob. So let's have this thing apart then. And certainly, I was going to just quickly find you the channel I found earlier. Well, it's not a channel, it's the Fix It. Everybody knows the iFixit people. They're a godsend when it comes to some of the modern technologies out there. If I go to my history, I should be able to bring it up. So have another sip of beer while I'm thinking about it. Here we are. So let me just make sure I'm on the right page. Yeah, okay, so this is the iFixit. It's like 20-year-old, is it? Great, great resource this for repairing stuff. So let me just pop that link in the chat. Then if you want to open this up and follow along, then you can do. Right, where am I? There. Hi, Anthony, how are you? So this has got various guides. It's got a disassembly guide, but it's got 2 or 3. There's one on how to clean the cartridges. That's pretty straightforward, although the guy's using baking soda, which I'm just going to use a fiberglass pen But I think the first thing we need to get to grips with is this 72-pin connector. And this tends to be the main issue with these. And it's this. It doesn't really show it. Does it show it? No, it doesn't. Okay, but it's basically this thing here. If I blow that up to full screen, it's this thing here that sits underneath the circuit board. That tends to be the cause of most issues. And surprisingly, they are still available, and there's people selling them. Because if you look up at the top here, it gives available for sale on Amazon. We click through to Amazon. There we are, $10.99. Or $10.99, 11. This is in America by the looks of it. We change it to change the country. United Kingdom. No, we don't want to sign in. We just want to go to the website. So that one there. Still in. Okay. Change. £8.75. Now this doesn't show right really, because they're more expensive than that on the UK Amazon site. I'm still logged into America for some reason. Oh well. So yeah, they are available. So if push comes to shove and one of these pins is broken, then we still got a chance. In fact, it would be a good thing to just get one of these. Anyway, I think. So there you are. Did Nintendo's have HD graphics? I don't know. High definition. I would have thought these wouldn't have done back in the day. Your NES had an SD card adapter in it with all the ROMs on it. Don't need the cards. Yeah, good idea. Anthony's saying it's the cards. Welcome, Anthony. Yeah, we're good, thanks. User kids blowing into the games cart did nothing for the connector. Man cave. Hey. Mother of all hangovers. Curry house, nice. How you doing, Sean, apart from feeling rough, mate? Martin, how you doing, mate? Right, let's see if we can get these connectors out. These are a tight fit. Let's pop the game cartridge out. So we will have a look inside that one before we power it all back up again. I don't think there's a lot to these as far as opening them up is concerned. I think it's just a number 2 Phillips. Get a little pot to throw the bits into. So we've got a few screws loose. Vince has had a play with these before, hasn't he? I have watched one of his videos, Anthony. He had one that was an absolute nightmare, didn't it? He had one that was an absolute nightmare that had multiple faults on it. Hopefully that's not this. At least we know we have got a picture from time to time. Yeah, it doesn't sound like this has ever been undone before because they've got that sort of crack when you turn the screws. So does that do anything? No. Am I missing something here? Just. Have I missed a screw? Yes, I have. Six screws, Graham, not 5. I don't know that comes undone. Oh yeah, this is a bit nasty. Bit nasty. Let's zoom you in a little bit. That doesn't look too healthy, does it? Although it doesn't look like that's lifted. It's not bowed. It's a bit wibbly wobbly though. I take it that's a voltage regulator hidden in there. Looks like it, doesn't it? Yeah. 17805, so that's a 5-volt regulator. This is the RF unit by the looks of it. And I can see the old edge connector in through the hole there. Look. There he is. It's not looking that bad. Let me just get my my torch and my magnifying eyes on, and we'll have a look down inside it a minute, or I'll have a look down inside it. Okay, well it does look like some of the pins are corroded. In fact, it looks like all of them are corroded. How the hell am I going to get that cleaned up now? I did see something online about boiling these connectors. I certainly wouldn't want to be doing that because it's likely to warp the plastic on it. I don't really want to be boiling it, but apparently that is a fix for them. So we need to dig deeper and get into this edge connector. So I need to take out a load more screws by the looks of it. Nice Yankee accent, is it? Thanks, Matamble. Yeah, no, you're right. It could have spewed out from underneath for all we know. No, we've got various screws in here. I wonder if they're all the same size. What's the betting that they're not? Are they the same size as those? Yes, they are. That's good. Yeah, so far they're all the same size. There is a guide in that thing that I've just posted of how to take these apart, but so far it's looking sort of straightforward. Famous last words, isn't it? Bob Anderson, how you doing, mate? You've been bringing on you've been binging on Manuel's Braun T1000. Yeah, I've not caught up with a lot of videos at all recently. I keep trying, but just don't seem to have the time. I come home from work and I'm absolutely knackered usually, so I've got to have a bit of a kip usually. And then when I wake up, it's time to walk the dogs. And then when I've walked the dogs, it's time to cook the tea. Okay, well, we've undone a lot of screws and we're nearly there. sort of wants to come off, but something over here is holding it on. I wonder if it's, oh no, okay, there we are. Now we're getting in there. You can see the connector a bit better. I'll zoom you in as far as I can, and then we might have to get the microscope going. So they don't look too bad, do they, there? But certainly with a bit of light shone on them, they didn't look particularly nice under magnification. In fact, the whole bottom row is really dirty. So I think that's the issue. Let's have a look. We've got 4 screws there, bollocks, or maybe 5. Maybe 6 even, to take this tray out. Same size. They're being kind to us, aren't they? I'm just going to take them all out, I think. Yeah, they're the same size. So the only different ones are these silver ones here. They're longer by the looks of it. So I think that's securing the edge connector, I'm not sure. So I must remember that they're in there. What's the betting this board's got to come out before that? Looks like the whole board's got to come out before I can get that edge connector off. Okay. Screw down there as well. Screw there. A lot of screws. A lot of screws. Let's zoom back out again a minute. Okay, he's up and he's off, and I believe this edge connector just slides off, but I've got to take this bottom shield off, have I? Can I wangle it? There she is. Okay. So it is pretty, it looks pretty dirty compared to the edge connector. The edge connector, that looks pretty good. The actual edge connection on the board itself, if I zoom you in, you know, there's a little bit on that, but nothing really that I would say was tarnished. So I think the bottom section's fine. It's just the top section that's dirty. And if you can see that or not, it's just going to get, I'm not going to get a cotton bud because I don't want to get cotton stuck in there, but I'm going to use some of these foam pads. And we'll just try a little bit of isopropyl and see if anything comes off. And then I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to take it downstairs and chuck it in my ultrasonic cleaner. Ah, give me it back. It's grabbed it. it's grabbed me foam tip. Just as well I didn't use the chrome, the cotton buds in there. It would have really grabbed it old. Let me have a look, see if that's made any difference. It's difficult to see without a light shining across it. Now, where did my little torch go? Yeah, no, they are tarnished, those. And the ones up and above are like nigh on impossible to get to. I could probably get in there with a little bit of wet and dry, maybe. I think this is just worn, you know, because it's, if I look at the bottom ones and the top ones, which are pretty much the same, these are all nice and silver down through here, and these are like a brassy colour up here. I don't know if that's coming out on the film, but it looks like they're worn. So I think the nickel coating has come off of them. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some very fine wet and dry, which I'm going to run it in that gap, fold it over. I'm going to run it back and forward a few times. Then I'm going to take it downstairs and I'm going to chuck it in my ultrasonic, because it should just about fit, hopefully. I've only got a little tiny, I've only got a little one. I've got a little one. So let me get the wet and dry a minute. Let's find something like 1,000 grit or 2,500 grit. That's pretty fine, isn't it? Thousand grit would probably be a little bit better, but I don't think I've got any. That's 180. I have got some 1,000 grit somewhere, but this will be fine. It's too coarse there. So what I want to try and do is fold it over like that and just run it along the gap. So I'm going to put a little bit of isopropyl on it. So this is very, very fine. Mighty fine. Okay, I think I'll see if I can fold it over one more time, so it's 4, just to make it have a bit more grip. Gonna wet it again. Well, they're definitely looking cleaner already, so it's definitely doing something. So I'm going to go and stick this in my ultrasonic now, downstairs, which I've got to get out from under the stairs first, so you have to bear with me. I'm going to have a another quick go on the beer a second. Peter, how you doing, mate? eBay has them from £9. Thanks, sir, Peter. So I'm going to go and stick this in the ultrasonic, and while that's cooking, I'm going to pop the game apart. As Anthony's saying, there are some issues with some of the games, so it could be that the game is the issue, but this was mucky, so I'm pretty confident that we've got it sorted. There's Coco. Oh, Coco. 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 Right. Let's pop this on cooking. Do some cooking, Mrs. Cruncher. Says trash in the place. Nothing new there. I think that'll just about fit in this. It's only a cheap one I picked up from Lidl's. Oh, just literally with about 5mm to spare. So I'm just going to add some water, a bit of washing up liquid, and I'll run some isopropyl through it. Apologies if that's making you want to go to the toilet. There we go, just cover it over. There we go. Let's leave that cooking for a bit. Right, that's the edge connector. Cooking away nicely in the ultrasonic. I think probably using that very fine sandpaper would have cleared that. So I need to see if I can find a fancy bit for this, and I think it might be something in this kit that Rob gave me. Let's go on that one. So I might have it in here, but it's it looks like it's a Torx socket. It's like a Torx socket. Got no, hang on, there's a Torx socket there. There's one. There's two. Is that one? Oh, yes, it is. There you go, Rob. Thank you, Rob. Sorted me again. So it's a nice little kit, this. It's got a little magnetic mat for screws and all sorts. Screwdriver with an extension and a flexible extension. It's got everything in this. Really useful little kit, this. I use this quite a lot. Well, I thought there was going to be a lot more in it than that. That's all there is. Let's turn that the other way up. Well, there is a little capacitor in there, but no batteries. A little tiny cap there. Doesn't appear to show any signs of leakage. There's a little bit of wear on one of the pins of the edge connector. Let's just see if I can get in a bit closer for you. Yeah, there's a little tiny bit of wear on one of the pins, but I don't think this is what's stopping it working. I think it was that. I don't know if you can see that or not, but if I get the light in a bit closer. Let's see if I can get it in a sort of, yeah, difficult with the light on it, but I can find my pointing tool. I'll just use a, see, there's a little tiny bit of corrosion on that pad, just on these four here, but it's right on the very edge. The actual pads themselves look fine. Now, they reckon to use a pencil eraser on these, don't they? We have got a little capacitor there. I don't know what size that is. Probably should be should have a ESD strap on, probably. So stick one on just in case before I touch this. So I got the necessary ESD thingamajiggery. Let's plug that in and hook myself up to the mains. No, it's only the ground. I have got a metal filing cabinet. I just discharged myself there, but we don't want to zap these EPROMs. So I'm just going to put that on for good measure. If I can get it around my wrists. There we go. Usually put it around my left hand because I'm right-handed. If you're right-handed, you put it around your left hand and vice versa. So now I can pop that out. Because we've got traces on both sides, haven't we? So I'll try going over those with just a pencil eraser to start with. Just a normal pencil eraser, see what it looks like. I've never had much success using this method, to be fair, but you can get a deoxit gold type thing, can't you? Let's just pop that down there a little bit. So I'm going to get my eyes on. To be fair, yeah, it's taking the tarnish off and it's working. I don't know if you can see the difference on those three I've just done or not. Yeah, you can look, they're certainly shinier than the others. Does seem to be working. You say you don't want to be removing any of the metal. Okay, so first lot done, let's try these. We'll give them a wipe over with some isopropyl afterwards just to get rid of any rubber residue. I think the couple that are a little bit extra tarnish, I'm going to need to just give them a quick go with the fiberglass pencil if I can find it. Steel, brass, yeah, it's always the last one, isn't it? Steel, brass, fiber. So I'm just using this fibre pencil. Which is nasty. Don't stick that out too far. I see people sticking them out like this far. I mean, you put it out that far, you're guaranteed to get loads of bristles all over the place. So just pull it back as far as you can without the edge of it scratching anything. Let's see if that'll get the extra bad tarnish off. Yes, it is. So that's getting the ingrained tarnish off the top. Yeah, they come up like new now. Slightly more aggressive than the rubber, but we have got some that are tarnished that the rubber's not clearing. So thing is, now I've got, you can tell, can't you, which ones I've done with the pen and which ones I've done with just the rubber. So do I just do them all? No, probably not. Let's do the others with the... Bearing in mind I've probably got lots of fiberglass particles there now, so you want a wet wipe. To clear up as you go, because anybody that's had these little particles in their fingers will know what I'm going on about. Afternoon, Matt, how are you? Cheers, David. Catch you soon, mate. Thanks for joining us once again. So keep up the good work, David. We're all fans. We're all fans. Anybody that hasn't watched any of David Tipton's videos, then look him up. Dave's Radio Adventures, I believe, is the channel, isn't it? Right, so let's chuck that out the way, because that's potentially got lots of nastiness attached to it. There, so that's nice and clean now. Do this side. So again, I can see some quite tarnished ones here. I don't think the rubber's going to get that off. Well, I don't know, it's not far off. Yeah, there's a bit of tarnishing on this side. So just as well we took that apart, really. Let's go over the extra tarnished bits then with the fiberglass pencil. Yeah, they all look pretty good now. So let's get another pan. Let's hit them with a bit of isopropyl. Yeah, some are sort of duller than others really, but I think that's just the way that I've cleaned them. Some I've cleaned with the rubber, some I've cleaned with the fiberglass pan. But they're all clean. I don't want to over clean them. There we go. Should we take this should we take this little capacitor out and have a look? What do you think? It's worth taking that out, isn't it? While we're here. What is it? (22 UF at 6.3 volts). Let's just lift the leg on that one. If he's all right, we'll leave it in there. Hi Mike Cass, how are you? No, you can't jeer. I see what you're saying, but yeah, you can't swap it around. Let's just de-nasty the bench a minute in case there's any of those fiberglass particles knocking about. Put that one out of the way. I've got a bit of a pile going here, which is not really good practice. That's my desoldering tools, a little bit blocked as well, just for good measure. Yep. There he is. So just lift the leg. This double-sided board, nice. Should what try to say, the positive should come unsoldered easy enough, but I'm gonna have to stick some more solder in it. So I've got you sort of zoomed right in, but you can't really see a lot because my great hands are in the way. I'll drop a fresh bit of solder in there because it doesn't want to desolder, which is normal with these type of connectors. Let's check a little bit of, not connectors, components. Oh, I forgot I got a new tip on that. It's coming out like mad now. I've got a load of flux everywhere. Let's try that again. Come on. Right, ESR meter. 22 microfarads then. What do you think? 22 microfarads, what's it going to be? Capacitor bingo time. 22 microfarads. 6.3 volts. Was it this one that we repaired last week? I think it was, wasn't it? So 22 microfarads. Place your bets. While you're thinking about that, I'll go down and get the edge connector, which should have finished by now. 22 at 6.5 volts. Right, it's been cooking. Well, there's a bit of, yeah, there is a bit of muck has come out of it. Okay, fair enough. Let's give it a bit of a go underneath the tap with a brush. Rinse it out. So I've just got a nail brush and a bit of hand soap to get rid of any grease. Mind you, that should have all gone. Should have all gone with the, what am I trying to say? The ultrasonic cleaner should have got rid of all that. Right. Get most of the water off that. Right, so I'm just talking to Mrs. Cruncher there. There's our edge connector back, and looking a lot better actually. So give it a bit of a blowout. Are we ready to push the button on this? Have you all done your guessing? Looks like you have. Oh, wrong button. Woohoo! I wanted to be picture in picture. There we go. It's got a fairly high ESR. 2.6 is a bit high. So I've given that a clean out. Who was closest then on that? 18.6. Actually gone low. Did anyone go low? 22.6. 22.6 by the looks of it. Guess how many in the jar, yeah? I still haven't emptied the jar from the last lot. Right, so that one really probably ought to go. Let's just stick my wristband back on. 22. It looks like a miniature one as well. I have to go with my miniature ones, which are here. .22. There we go. I got 35 volts. What did I say? That was 6.3, didn't I? So I only used a little tiny one. Take it they didn't have capacitors this size back then. Got some little Nichicon ones here, which I used for the Sony ICF 2001Ds. What size are those? 6.3 volts. They're 35 volts. Bit big. Let's go with another 6.3 volts. I don't suppose they're going to see any voltage, are they? They just dropped one in the wrong hole then. Yeah. Let's go with that one. Just out of curiosity, let's see what this brand new one's reading. Again, somebody did tell me a while back that the capacitor won't reach its true value until it's had power on it, but okay, so that's closer. Still got a fairly high ESR though. 2.8. Let's just see if one of these higher value ones has got a lower capacitance, a lower resistance. If so, we'll stick a higher one in. Not much really. 1.8 is nearer the 22, but yeah. Probably okay to leave that one in, but we'll change it. Just going to squirt some isopropyl down through that edge connector a minute, just to make sure that all the water's gone. No greasy deposits left on it. Give it another blow out. It's a lot of messing about, isn't it, really? But it should be worth it. That's a good little machine, this. I'm looking forward to playing Pac-Man if it works. I'm sure Mrs. Cruncher will as well. 22.6 is the closest, isn't it? A super capacitor raffle. So let's just run some hot air through this as well. Just on its lowest setting. So dry it up. Again, it's not hot enough to burn my handlet, so thank you, Rob. The Cruncher capacitor fund. Yeah, still a bit of water on this. Yeah, I reckon I might have to stick this down on the boiler for a bit, you know, just to dry it off 100%. Seeing that the isopropyl should have dispersed the water. Yeah, that's looking dry now. Now we could bend all the pins up on that. That would obviously sort out any problems with misalignment, but it's a bit of a pain to do that, and that might make it a bit too harsh, and it will ruin all the things put in it. There's not really any that look bent out of line. See how we get on with that. If that doesn't work, then we might need to look at bending the pins, or if that still doesn't work, then we'll need to order another connector. Right, let's just get this one out then. Should have used the hot air on that really, but I'm starting to get a bit too much stuff on the bench here again, as per usual. Positive and negative are marked on there, so let's make sure we get them the right way round. That one's not going to play ball, is it? There we go. Just solder that one in. Make sure the solder's flowed through, which it looks to have done. Double check with my eyes. Yep, solder's gone through nicely. Snip those off. Let's get rid of the flux. Looks like there's a lot of flux already on this board. There's a lot of flux on this board. And Nintendo have got a bit flux happy on it. Let's get rid of that because it could work its way in, couldn't it? There we go. One nice new cap, little Nichicon. Have you found any stronger leads for your ESR tester? I hardly know, I haven't looked. Empty screen, all the little Batmans are gone. Right, now I wonder which way up it went, that's the next question, isn't it? That way is the answer. Do you think it's worth putting any deoxit or anything on those? Just a little smear of deoxit. A little dab of that D5, maybe. What do you think? Making my head sweat, that. I think it will help it, won't it? Stop it tarnishing up again in the future. I'll say this is the liquid stuff. There's not a lot left of this. This is what Doug gave me, that little tiny bit left in the bottom still. It's good stuff, this. So I'll just put a little tiny drop on each contact. There, that ain't going to hurt it, is it? It's only going to help it. Let's find the screws and stick Pac-Man back together. I can find the screwdriver that's done a run it. There we are. That's one. Two. Three. Right, that's the game done. I'm going to give the edge connector on the board a quick going over. Although it does look okay, that one. Excuse me, let's just get the camera, just this edge connector here. So we'll give that one a quick going over with the isopropyl. Again, this never moves really, so it should be fine. There shouldn't be any issues with that at all. I suppose it could tarnish with age, but again, I suppose a little dab of that won't hurt, will it? On there. I'm going to put a little drop on my finger. Probably shouldn't get this on your fingers, but you know. Do it the other side. Let's give that another bone dry. Get on there, you. He won't go on, he won't go on. came off of there. Do I have to take all of this off? Really? Okay. Well, that was certainly a tight fit, so there shouldn't be any issues with that one. Damn shield now. There we go. Give this a brush off while it's out. Did have a paintbrush. Did have a paintbrush once upon a time. I suppose it's worth having a look at the caps on the other side of the board just in case. Yeah. Nothing bulgy under there. They all look good. They're all Nichicons by the looks of it. I'm going to have to clean this out as well, aren't I, now I've seen it? I'm going to have to clean that out as well. I'm going to have to take it downstairs, I think, and give it a good dusting and a blowout outside. Let's see if I can find my paintbrush. That's downstairs, okay. Right, I'm just going to take that outside a minute for a quick dust off and a blow off. So I really don't want to be breathing all that lot in, but I don't want to put it all back together and leave it with dust in it, really, because it'll only get back into everything, won't it? Let's not do half a job. I'm not going to bother with those other capacitors at this stage unless it does prove to still not work, and then that's the last resort before we've got to start messing with the other bits and pieces. Right, Cookie? Yeah, it's stopped raining, but it's blowy. Kick the bucket. That's a bit cleaner. Let's give it a quick blowout with the air duster. Job done. And Coco, you all sorted out, have you? Right, actually I'll take that paintbrush back upstairs just in case. All the paintbrushes are in use for painting the house at the moment, so still seeing a bit of dust there. in the room with a less dusty console. There we go, looking good. Let's get the old wristband on again, just in case. Right. Who thinks we cracked it then? Who thinks it's going to work now? Let's hope so, because I'll be out of options else. Well, I won't be totally out of options, but we'll be trying to get into the guts of the thing if it don't work now. Right, let's start putting some stuff back there. So I think we've got this slide thing next, wasn't it? It went in like that, and we had those two silver screws. Graham, how you doing? You reckon yes? You reckon it'll work? Everybody's fairly confident. It's one of these things, it doesn't look like anybody's ever been inside messing with it, so it's always a good sign, isn't it, if it's not been messed with. Just screw it all back together and we will see. Lots of screws. Gotta be careful that I don't put screws in that are fixing the shield down. Give that a wipe over. If I've done with me wet wipes. Anybody see me wet wipes? How can I have lost a big bright yellow packet of wet wipes? Bet your life I've taken them downstairs. Oh well. They've gone. It's just a little bit of dust on this top thing, that was all. Wet wipes are definitely here just now. There's a lot of screws holding this thing together, isn't there? Close the parts box on your left. This, you mean? That's the screwdriver. Ha! You think? Yeah, thanks. You got my back there, Anthony. Thank you. It's highly likely I would knock that over. I think that's where Anthony was coming from there. Oh, the worst one was when I knocked over the box of what am I trying to say? Heat shrink sleeves. Oh dear, that was a nightmare. In fact, they're still in the container that I put them in. Right, so we should have 6 screws left, and we have got 6 screws left. Now what have I done with the top? No dust in the top because it's facing upwards. Let's pop the screws back in the bottom and we'll give it a go. Knocked over a box of uninsulated ferrules. The worst thing I think I ever knocked over was my box of SMD transistors. Oh, that took some putting right. That was tweezers and magnifiers just to read the part numbers on them. That wasn't fun. But you know, unfortunately, I just haven't got the real estate here on the bench to lay stuff out properly. As I say, I've not got anywhere to put anything, so as soon as something goes on the bench, it's full. So we have to have a clear out to get the telly back on here. Just to test this thing. Hey Christoph, how are you? Well, I'm hoping we fixed it. We don't know yet. I'm just putting it back together, Christoph. Hopefully I've not left anything out of it. Got no screws left over. Just hoping that it now. And the other issue I've got is I've only got the one game. In the game's defense, it did work once, but it did try to work then, didn't it? But not very successfully. Right, back together. Let's just clear the bench. So all we've done really is given it a good clean up and replace one capacitor, which wasn't actually that bad, really, in the grand scheme of things, but it had gone a little bit low. So I don't know whether Mrs. Cruncher's a friend has got any other games. I should have asked, really. I'll send her a message in a minute. Please, can you ask if she got any other games? But if that's assuming that this doesn't work, which I think it will. Right, so there we are. Let's plug back in everything. Power supply. Let's grab the telly up. And we need our, that's the power supply, we need our RF cable, wherever that's gone. Turn the thingy off there. Where's our RF cable gone? Telly, what have you done with the RF cable? Joystick's all tangled up in a knot here. Alright, here's the RF cable, let's plug that in. And the power supply for the TV. Up. Power onto the telly. Right, okay. So I'm doing my wrist strap now because I don't need that anymore. Let's zoom you out again. Telly power. What's going on here? Right, what do you think? Yes or no? Will he or won't he? It's come up first time. Hang on, is it this one? Oh. Let's try him. Oh dear. It looks to be working. Oh no. I think it's working. Oh no! They're changing back. Oh no! Game over. Well, there you are. I think we cracked it, haven't we? I think we have sorted it. Bit of the Abbot's thumb first. Untidy bench. Oh, there is there? Just finished watching the Grand Prix. Oh, unfortunately, because I've been decorating, I actually moved the satellite dish out the way, and we can't record it at the moment, the Grand Prix. So we're just gonna have to somehow try and watch it later. Hopefully they rerun it. They rerun highlights later on, so we should catch it then. It will work yet. Move from the Zenix 81s to the Specky, then marriage. And then it all went downhill from there, Mick, did it? Good job, yeah. Can you play? I don't know, can you? Doesn't do a demo, does it? But it is of its day, isn't it? Back in the 80s, that was the business. I tell you, it's nice and sharp. It doesn't look particularly sharp on your screen. Is it going to do demo mode? Yeah, it's doing a demo. Look. Usually when it does a demo, it shows you how it should be done. I'm going to nip to the loo a minute. I didn't do bad, did I? 4,720. That was pretty good. Mrs. Cruncher would have cleaned that up, no problem. She would have been on level 3 by now. She's very good at Pac-Man. Right, let's just quickly use Tutlu. Right. Yes, if you have a look at my mate Vince's channel, I'm sure you'll follow Vince. Great channel. If you look back through his videos, he did one a while back on one of these NESs, and he had all sorts of problems with his. He had an IC gone, and he had an LED gone in it. There's loads and loads of issues, but this one does, at the moment, seem to be okay. So let me switch over to that camera a minute, and I'll get it so I can sort of see it a little bit better, because I want to try which one was it? This one? Yeah, so I want to see if is it this one? Select 2 players. So let's see if both controllers work, is what I'm trying to do. Come on. Ah! Oh no! Oh, I was doing so good. I was doing so well. Oh, player 2. Hang on, here we go. Hang on, where am I? Ah! Looks like the other controller works as well then. Trouble is I've left too many little dots everywhere. They're all scattered. The idea is that you clean up all the dots while they're in that. Get off me! Get off me! Oh, they had me cornered there. Do you see that? I couldn't get out of that. Damn. Hang on, the other controller. I'm sort of trying to look at it at a bit of an angle here so you can see it as well, but well, that's all the top ones cleared. Go on, go, go, go! Oh no, I nearly did it. I nearly done it. Just, I'm not going to carry on for this for ages, don't worry. I've got to somehow try and get back at the top there. Get all that lot there before they catch up with me. Ah! No! Oh, blown it. Oh, no. Game over player 1. It's going to be game over player 2 very soon. I can't get up there. Come on. Yay! I completed a level, player 2. Cheers, Aaron. This has got to be more exciting than Grand Theft Auto, isn't it? I think you go a bit more maze now, don't they? Ah, get off me, get off me! No, I thought that one had gone a different colour. Well, player 2 won. Player 2 won, look. Oh dear. What's a good bit of fun, isn't it? It's a good bit of fun. Right, let's catch up with the chat. Let's catch up with the chat. Pinky, Bashful, Pokey. It's Clyde. Pinky, Inky and Clyde. And what's the top one? Blinky, Pinky, Inky and Clyde. Shadow, Speedy, Bashful and Pokey. Dear, dear. Right, let's catch up. Keep it in a dry place, yeah. No worries. Defender. I used to love Defender, Aaron. That used to be one of. Well, I used to play it back in the arcades, not on these sort of things. I tended to be mainly in the arcades in the early 80s. Galaxians and Space Invaders. Yeah, nice one, Timothy. Thank you. I've got some very loyal Patreons on here, so thank you all for your support, and my channel members as well, and my channel members and Patreons that are on both. Very much appreciated. Keeps me going, keeps me wanting to do these things to know I've got the support there. I haven't watched them yet, Anthony. That I've recorded them. The problem is my satellite dish was out of alignment, so I don't think I've recorded yesterday's. I definitely brought the first one, recorded the first one. Brett's only bought a duffer. Yeah, I did try, Aaron, didn't I? Play against the cops in the Grand Theft Auto. Nice. You never like umping them up the stairs. What's to say? This is a little tiny telly. It's only a 10-inch portable, so it's ideal for demoing these things. I can probably connect it into my capture card here, but it might knock me off the stream if I try it. So I'm not gonna mess with that. Q-Birch, yeah, I think I actually playing Q-Birch here, Les, didn't I? So I've got like a retro Pi arcade thing that I made up, and Les made one up as well. Very, very nice, great fun. So I'm going to need to have my next beer. It's a shame we haven't got more games. I do like Pac-Man, but I do prefer like the platform shooters, really, the shoot 'em ups. I did like some of the karate stuff, not much, mind you. So going in with a champion next. No finger today. It's got like a... I don't know if that's the squeal is whatever Les called it, the line output transformer, is it? Squealing, or... Not really much static forming on the front. Oh, the big cabinets in the arcades. They're worth a fortune now, though, Les, aren't they? I'd love one of those. I'd love one of those cocktail cabinet Space Invaders, or Galaxians probably would be my favourite. The cocktail cabinets were the ones that you sat either side of them, and they had a glass top on them, and the screen was sort of flat in the actual table. It was like a table with a screen in it, and when it was the other person's turn, it used to just flip. You know, the screen used to flip around. How they did it, I don't know, but it was they were very good. They were sort of the end of the arcade sort of... I mean, the arcade era went on for a while, but like the glory days of the arcades were the early 80s, really, weren't they? Yeah, I actually disconnected the Sky Dish, not a Sky Dish, it's a satellite, free sat dish, on Tuesday afternoon, Anthony, when I was painting the outside of the house, so I've missed one episode. Yeah, I used to love Asteroids as well. All these games are available now on your tablets and your phones, you know that, don't you? I mean, I just deleted a couple earlier because I was running out of space on my phone for apps. I think I had 59 gigs and I was up to 58 gigs, so I had to get rid of some. I think probably Galaxians was my favourite. There's another one called Phoenix, which we had in our canteen at work, in the college where I did my apprenticeship. Phoenix, I used to like that one. used to have to shoot the eggs, and the eggs hatched out. If you didn't shoot them, they hatched out to birds, and it's all sorts of stuff going on. So many classic arcade games, isn't there? Battlezone, and there was never really any good at Battlezone, but it did intrigue me. That's the vector graphics. Defender, I used to love Defender. Scramble was another one. Can you remember Scramble? Scramble was very much like Defender, apart from you were dropping bombs mainly. Used to like Scramble. You dropped enough quarters into an Asteroids game to buy the thing. There used to be a little trick back in the 80s, and I'm sure some of you knew this. I think it was 10 pences. I think it was 10 pence and a pound, or 10 pence and 50 pence, or 50 pence and a pound. I don't know, but obviously with a pound you got quite a lot of games. So we used to get the 10p's and you put them in the slot, and you used to spin them into the slot, and it used to really spin them in fast. And sometimes you were lucky enough to clock up 10 credits, not one. I know it's theft. I'm a thief. But no, it's just a way to fox the machines back in the day, wasn't it? Spin a 10 pence in it. I think it was 10 pence or 50 pence. I can't remember, but you used to be able to get extra credits up on it if you were very clever. Anybody else do that back in the 80s? It didn't work in all the machines. It only worked in a few. I suppose it depended on what sort of mech they had and the coin path on them. Yeah. We used to spin the old 10p's in there, get some extra credits. Certainly making lots of noises as the picture's coming up. I take it you can hear those noises, can you? Can you hear that? You played a lot of arcades in the 90s, Christoph, yeah? You couldn't get it to work for you, Matamble. The Space Invaders cocktail cabinet is in the new workshop, ready to be repaired. Oh, it's a beauty, Aston. I'll definitely have to come down for that, mate. Once you got that going, I'll come and give you a few games on that. Strimmer wire and washers, Les. Oh, no, I'm not sure I can. Well, being that you used to work on them, Les, I'm sure you were the expert at defeating them. All the stuff you work on is between 1935 and 1966. Yes, back in the day. End of the day, you're still putting money in it, but not probably as much as they wanted you to. Except for Les's washers. I don't know about washers, Les. I'd give you a bridge too far. Yeah, I do remember the cocktail company. So always used to be in the pubs, didn't they? You just sit down, it's like a pub table. You sit down and you had the chance to play Space Invaders or Galaxians or whatever else they had in the cabinet. You got two, Christoph. Which ones have you got, mate? You can put a penny in the drinks machine and eject and put it back in again 10 times. It registers 10 pence, so you got a free drink. Oh, good one, Brett. Yeah, I think we used to spin a 10 pence in and it registers as £1, I think. I'm going to leave that going in the background because that looks good, doesn't it? Very retro. It's just the camera making those weird lines on it. It's not like that here. Cody's. Was this console hacker's first and last row of technological dice? Yes, yeah, this is what it evolved into, Paul, in 1985. Yeah, I think if Hacker made arcade, or not arcades, consoles, it would be a little bit different than this. Certainly would have had a teak surround, wouldn't it? In real wood, none of this veneer stuff. One is a generic arcade, the other is a Space Chaser. Space Chaser, I can't say I've heard of that. You got the Virtua Racing Up right next to it. Flippin' heck. Well, it's squealing here, well, Les, the telly. I can't remember what you said that noise was, Les. Perhaps if I whack it, it'll stop. It probably will. Yeah, we'd definitely like to see you working on that, Sam Christoph. It's better than that noise, isn't it? Can't beat the old 80s arcade noise. Oh, hello. Vision on sound. Yeah. Alright, okay. Hacker console with a separate amp board. Yeah. He dies well, doesn't he? Suicide run. Oh, I forgot you can go out that way, can't you? Come back in there. I forgot about that. I forgot that you can go back in, go in one side and back out the other. Ah, no! Yeah, I'm dead again. I'm always dead. Always dead on these games. So there we are, repaired. How are we doing for time? It's only 4:15, look, 20 past 4, and we've fixed it already. What are we going to do now? I've got a power supply that came in this week that I bought for my 2001 Ds. Have a look at that. I just need to recap that, put a couple new caps in it. It's a shame we got no more games to play on this. If we did, I would connect it up to the screen and you could watch it. Just enough time to whip off a Roberts R707. Well, I probably could. I reckon I could do it. I could do a module in time. By 6, I reckon. Thanks, Hero1945. Welcome. Service the joypads. Break something. Thanks, Harvey. You mean just try and work on something and break it? What needs doing to the joypads then? They just need cleaning, Brett? Could give them a service, couldn't we? But didn't someone say taking them apart is a bit of a, pardon me, bit of a nightmare? Let's get this tally off. Oh, I'll switch me solder extractor on then. Oh, Robert's hardly, Paul. You're dreaming still. Paddy, how you doing, mate? If it works, leave it alone. They are pretty cruddy in there, to be honest. That's a bit inside there, so they could do with a clean. Could probably do with a clean. I know Mrs. Cruncher's friend will be very pleased to get it back. I don't know if it's from her childhood, or probably is actually. So I think she's similar age to me. Let's have a look inside these things in a set. I haven't had one apart, so you know, let's get one apart and have a look. Looks like a number 1. This is made in Japan, do you think? No, number 0 then, perhaps. Where's my number 0? IPA beer. Let's take one apart then, and let's hope we don't break it in the process. Now that Harvey's jinxed it. Good check though, Brett, because these controllers do get really mucky. And I can remember cleaning some of the PlayStation 1 and 2 controllers. Let's move the camera up a little bit. Let's have a look inside one. Let's have a go at it, see what happens. If it's a nightmare, we'll leave the other one. I don't think it can be a nightmare, can it? I just think you've got problems if you need spares, maybe. Saying that, it's such a big following with all this old console stuff that people are starting to remanufacture stuff for them. Now, let me think, is it best to take it off that way up? Yeah, okay. Well, that looks pretty basic. There's not a lot in there, is there? This is where it goes horribly wrong. Easy job to service. Cleaning with beer, right, let's have a look. So obviously we've got a figure of 8 going on there with the cable. Well, to be fair, that's not actually. That's not too bad. Doesn't look to be much bodily fluids have escaped into that area, but we'll give it a clean because it is a little bit mucky. So we just go over the over the contacts with a little bit of IPA, very gently because we don't want to remove carbon. Inevitably you do remove a little tiny bit. It's a little bit of wear on those, but it does look to be okay still. Let's take these off. Let's do this one first. It's not looking too bad, to be fair. I thought it'd be a lot worse than that, but the problem is going to be underneath that button. I know it. This is where the nastiness will be. I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse. Certainly this one doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like anything's been spilt into it. Might as well give them a service while we're in there, haven't we? Yeah, that's pretty ground in. That could probably do with going in the ultrasonic, I think. I don't suppose it would be good to put carbon pads in the ultrasonic. Because I don't know whether it would damage the actual carbon or not. Wash the carbon off, we don't want that. But definitely that's going to have to go in the ultrasonic because I can't get into the corners of that to clean it. Does look pretty good, doesn't it? You think I've been lucky with it, Anthony? I'm feeling lucky today. I tell you what I'm going to do after this stream's finished. I'm going to be on that Pac-Man playing that. I'm going to beat that high score before it goes back and put my name on it. Got a little bit of a split in this one, look. So be careful with that. What's this one looking like? Yeah, it's in pretty good nick, this one. So I'm going to take that and shove that in the ultrasonic, being it's in bits at the moment. So might as well take this one apart as well, wouldn't I? Once you've had it been horrible, is it? Might clean the pads right off the board. Yeah, it's only a little special. Let's do the same with this one then. Give that a clean as well. Then we'll have to get it back together. Yeah, it looks like we've had a bit of spillage through this one, but not too bad. If you remember that Mega Drive I did of mine, I still haven't got round to cleaning the controllers on that one. So let's put those three with that board. Let's clean these three off as well. Yeah, that one's broken off as well. Look. Can you see that? I was just hanging on by a thread there. Careful with that one. So I'll get those 4 cases in the ultrasonic, if they'll fit. I've only got a little tiny, I must get a decent ultrasonic cleaner. I must get one. It's not, I do use it. I've started using it quite a lot now for, you sort of evolve, don't you? When you start doing these repairs, you start getting other things in, and a lot of this modern stuff is all sealed up, so you tend to need to use something like an ultrasonic to get into it, just to service it. So I need to get one of these proper stainless steel full size ones, not a little tiny £9.99 Lidl's job, although it's done well. It's done well, to be fair, I can't complain. Can't complain, it's done well for what it is. The problem I've got at the moment really is because I've started work again. So whereas before I had all day long to mess about with my electronics and fix things and repair stuff and actively sort of advertise as being a repairer, now I'm back sort of working. I haven't got half the time I used to have. So people that are sending me things for repair are having to wait that little bit longer to get them done. Aren't they, Chris? But it's not just getting them done, it's getting the time to pack everything up and get it back in the post. I think that's one of the things that takes a long time these days. Because of the online thing, I suppose, isn't it? Well, it's quicker in a way because you don't have to wait in post office queues to get things done, but right, there we are. That's the pads all done. I'm going to take these down now and stick them in the ultrasonic a minute with all the buttons and knobs and the rest of it, and hopefully they'll come up a bit cleaner. So I'm retiring to the ultrasonic. Then I'm going to finish my beer off. It's very blowy out there at the moment, very windy. Oh, actually, yeah, I did get quite a bit of muck out of that. Let me just empty the ultrasonic because it's still got the muck in it from that edge connector. Yeah, it looks like snot in it. Yeah, weird. Hopefully these will actually physically fit in here because it's not, as I say, it's not very big. I keep complaining about the size, don't I? Yeah, no comments. Oh, just look at that. Can I get them all in all at once? Ooh. Yeah, a bit of a squeeze to get them all in. Just maybe. It's maxed out. Just agitate it a minute because I've put some washing up liquid in it to get rid of all the dead skin and everything that's on them. Boogers. Bogies. No, they actually look very good, to be fair. I've seen a lot worse than that. As I say, I've got some really manky Mega Drive controllers to do there for my own Mega Drive, which I really wanted to connect up, but I really haven't had a chance to connect it up to the telly yet. Right. Alright, that's fizzing away in the ultrasonic. That'll need a couple goes at least with a good scrubbing in between. So 480 seconds. Wait, see? Maddie's looking at me as if to say what's going on. I don't know if she's been out today, so she's probably eyeballing me thinking I'm going to take her out, but I can't. I'm on stream. I'm streaming. I'm live. I'm live. Where's that Mr. Man Cave gone? He was in here, but he's disappeared, hasn't he? That Mr. Man Cave's disappeared again. Alright, okay. Let's have a look then. Aston sent me a couple of photos of these of his arcade machines. Well, he looks well buried, that of Virtua Racing. I love it. Let's see if we can get these up bigger. So Aston's just sent me a couple pictures, look. This is obviously the what is it again? The cocktail version of Space Invaders. And then we've got Virtua Racing. Ah, that's excellent, Aston. Yeah, look forward to seeing how you get on with those. See the all the workings in underneath it there. Excellent. Look forward to seeing how you get on with those, Aston. You ought to video do a video series on them, really, what you're up to, because they're very popular now. You'll get a lot of views on that. Yeah, they're pretty good, Paul, aren't they? What sort of cost is one of those then, Paul? Are you talking like a couple £100, or? It'd be nice to have one that could get a full PCB in, really. That would be the ultimate. There you go, Christoph. You'll have to try and do a deal with. You have to do a deal with Aston. Swap. Do a swap, maybe. That one has got some sort of damage on it, actually. That board. This one it hasn't. There's got a little bit of damage on that. Is it damage or is it? No, it's just solder. Just excess solder. I thought it was a break in the track, but it's just where they've soldered it. It's got a bit of solder splatter on it. Unusual. Just going to go over these with a bit more care. Try and get rid of some of the marks on that one. Don't really want to put them back down on a dirty bench once I've cleaned them. A £50 box but no basket. Nice. That was a bargain. Welcome back, Rob. Where have you been now? Yeah, that's a bit of a bargain that then, Paul, wouldn't it? Because as I say, I'm sure they're about a couple £100 normally for a decent one. And what sort of mixture do you put in? Because everybody's got their own sort of mixture that they like to put in. I know you're a big fan of the no-nonsense cleaner. I'm just cleaning these pads a little bit better while it's down festering in the ultrasonic. Be careful with these because these are quite fragile. Rob, hype. I take it you got a basket for it, Paul, did you? Or just used an old chip basket or something? Just give these a good clean up while I can. Just throw these away. Yeah, I've heard people use isopropyl in them, and what was that I've just dropped on the floor? Was that something critical? Probably. probably critical, or was it just a bottle top? It's maybe just a bottle top. Well, there's all sorts you can do. I mean, you can stick it through a bath of IPA assembly and stick it through a bath of IPA maybe, and some people use a drying oven or just an old oven at low temperature to dry it off. I think if you just use an oven at, say, I don't know, if it goes down lower than 100 degrees maybe. This one's pretty bad, so I've got to be careful with that one. It's typical, the worst one is the dirtiest one. That one and the last one. Yes, no worries, Chris. There will be one winging its way to you, mate. I've got to put your General Electric. I've got to get that back together and back off to you. And I've got your multimeter, your Avo, and the Roberts R550 Jaguar. That's all on its way when I can get a chance to get it all in the post. We've still got the Radio Shack Patrolman to finish off, and that'll probably be next week's stream. It's unlikely that I'll get around to it in the week because of work, but you never know. So yeah. All right, that's looking a lot healthier now. Brilliant. Okay. So that's all my buttons all serviced. So let me go down and give the cases a scrubbing and pop them in for another couple minutes. Well, 480 seconds. That's 4 minutes, isn't it? No, 3 minutes. No, I don't know how many minutes it is. I'm guessing. Well, certainly a lot of crud come off of them. Let's get the old nail brush on them. So this is you've got to guess, you've got to visualize what I'm doing now. You can't see it. So I've just got a nail brush. Just going over the controller pads with that. This shouldn't affect any of the text on them, but it should certainly bring them up really nice. Like new. Yes, certainly they're a lot a lot improved. They're like brand new now. They're really good. This is in very good condition for one of these. Not that I've seen a lot of them, but I know I've seen the ones that Vince, well, one of the ones that Vince did, and that was pretty manky. This is very nice condition, really. So there's not a lot of yellow into the case at all, so it's been stored out of the light. That's those bits cleaned. We'll stick them in for final going over. The main thing is the little buttons here. They were the worst condition. Looks nice. I'll tell you what, it's a useful tool, an ultrasonic cleaner, for cleaning little plastic intricate bits that you just can't really get a brush to. Really brings them up nice. You know, knobs for a radio, especially the ones with the aluminium skirts, and that brings them up really nice. Anybody that's had radios back from me, the knobs have always been in an ultrasonic. Right, that's everything. That's everything brushed off. Let's just unplug it and put some fresh water in, because that's a bit manky now. Oh, let me rip the door handle off then. So I'll just give them one more going over. Bit more washing up liquid. There's a bit mucky in there still. A bit more of the old fairy. Other brands are available. Right. Okay. Got them back in for their final going over. I'll rinse them through then, and they'll stay on the radiator to dry off overnight. Whew, still pretty horrible out there. I think the rain stopped, but it's still really blowing. Whew. Maths. Yeah, I don't do maths, Paul. It's very useful, Matabli. Distilled water, yeah. To be fair, undiluted IPA isn't that expensive because you can reuse it, can't you? bowel emptying sounds could be played on a loop when I go to the toilet. Thanks for subscribing to Tron Music. Welcome. Distilled water and IPA, yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, hello. Who's that? Excuse me, phone call. Okay, sorry about that. It's, I've been waiting for that call all day, to be fair. It's darts related, though. So it's darts related, not radio related. Apologies for that. But I am back. Sorry about that. Apologies. So, what's happening? What's happening? So I've got the stuff downstairs fizzing away in the ultrasonic. I've got my beer here, which I'm drinking still. And it looks like I'm playing for one of the top teams next season, which is good news. Excellent. Going up in the world of darts, look. Cheers, Brett. Thanks for your help today as well, mate. I'm glad that we've done something that's more up your street, mate. Well, you do like your hackers, don't you? I know, but I know you like your consoles, retro gaming, etc. So that's hopefully sorted you out for a while, Brett. Cheers, mate. Catch you soon. So yeah, that was you remember us when you're famous. I don't think I'm going to be very famous, to be fair. Does someone have some old knobs for Bang & Olufsen tube radios, the grey ones? Bang & Olufsen. Wow, we don't get much of that stuff over here, Martin. Thanks, Bob. Bob Anderson, not the Bob Anderson that's the dart player Bob Anderson, is it? It might be. It might be. It's a cracking player back in the day, Bob Anderson. I used to love watching Bob. But yeah, pretty much done the Nintendo, haven't I? I don't know whether it would be worth just giving the top a clean off as well. Might give that a bit of a foam clean situation as well before I send it back. But this can go back with Mrs. Cruncher when she goes back to work on Tuesday. You love retro gaming, Chris. Yeah. Well, I say I've got lots of other stuff here to do. I've got 4 Commodore 64s still to do here. I keep threatening to do them. I've got to do my Mega Drive. I've got PlayStations knocking about here somewhere. I'd like to mix it up a bit. It's nice to do something a bit different. I know this is primarily a radio channel, but it's anything electronic really that comes in that I can have a dabble with. I mean, I've done that tally. I've never messed about with a tally in my life. Never been inside a tally messing about. So that was a first for me. As I say, I've got this BMW crazy airbag ECU, but as I say, I think it's not going to be something that I'm going to do because Stu's gone and got another one. But interesting thing, I think it's capacitors, but I don't know till you take them out, do you? You're just an ordinary Bob Anderson. You're fine to us, Bob. We appreciate you still. There's a Bob Anderson that did was on here as well, wasn't there, on YouTube somewhere? Lots of Bob Andersons. There's a computer you grew up with, Chris, was it? I've got a Commodore C64C that I've done. I've got a bread bin one, which I really, because I had back in the day, I had the bread bin version, the original one, not the newer white one, the C version. I had the proper old school bread bin one, and that's the one I want to repair. Really, well, it might be working. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I've got it in here actually. Is it to hand? If it's to hand, I'll stick it in front of your nose. But I think it's boxed up somewhere. Because I've got another VIC-20 as well. So I've got a VIC-20 and a Commodore 64 knocking about somewhere. I've also got this amazing German World War II radio to do at some stage, which I'm really scared about. I don't want to be messing with that at all, really, because I paid a lot of money for it. It's quite a valuable radio. So I'll be 100% certain what I'm doing with that one. I don't know what I've done with my Commodore 64 now. I wouldn't have put it in the loft, I don't think. So I'm going to quickly skip Tutloo. I've got another Amiga sat here to do, another 500 plus. Right, that's better. Okay. So yeah, I've got a few retro computers to sort still. So I have got the C64C set up downstairs with my Commodore monitor all working. I do play that from time to time. Oof. 3 litre. Yeah, the bigger stainless steel. They do come in weird different sizes. So Anthony's got a C64, C128 and an Amiga to do, plus 2 Spectrums. Oh. Yeah, I think the Amigas aren't too bad. I mean, the Amigas and the Commodore 64s, all the ones I've had a go at, the capacitors do seem to be okay. But unless it's the Commodore Amiga, is it A600? That's got the dodgy SMD electrolytics in it, isn't it? That's not great, but thank you, Anonymous, for the tip. Much appreciated. Yeah, that is about the size. I do need a bigger one because I really struggle to get some bits in it. And when you're trying to get like fascia panels and stuff like that in, you need something a bit bigger, really. Commodore 64 was for the posh kids. Oh dear. Well, my first ever computer was a Commodore VIC-20, which my parents bought for me for Christmas one year. I'm pretty sure the Commodore 64 I bought for myself. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure I bought my Commodore 64. And I certainly bought the Amiga after that. A500, it won the 500 plus. You were doing paper rounds and eggs and potato rounds to get this Commodore 64. I used to do a paper round, to be fair, Anthony. I'm trying to think, what's the date of the Commodore 64? When did that come out? When did the Commodore 64 come out? Let's have a quick Google. '64. Search that. So Commodore 64 Wikipedia 1982. Introduced in 1982. I wonder, so it was introduced in the electronics show in Las Vegas originally. Production started in early to marketing. Preceded the VIC-20. So its release date was August 1982. And it was $595 apparently in 1982. Equivalent to $1,800 in 2022. They sold between 12.5 and 17 million of them. And it wasn't discontinued until 1994. So it had a fair old run, didn't it? But yeah, lovely machine, and it just brings back so many memories of all those days and days of typing in games from magazines and that, hoping that they'll work, and all the little demo cassettes and that you used to get on the magazines. You want me to shush up for 5 minutes while you're doing alignment? You don't want me to put a 1 kilohertz tone over the air, do you, Paul? So 1982, I think I must have been 18 in 1982, so it might have been bought for me by my parents. I'm not sure. It might have been, I can't remember. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go and have another look at the festering controls downstairs. Although saying that, I can't really do a lot with them, can I? Can't do a lot with them. Mind you, I left the back door open and the chicken's probably in here. Where's Louise, Maddie? Is Louise in here? Is Louise in here? I've had that before. I left the back door open and the chicken's been eating the dog food. She's a bit of a... There she is. Yeah, you stay out there, you monkey. Louise. Right, that should have done those now. Yeah, oh look at those, they're like brand new now. They're literally like brand new. So I'm just going to swivel them off under the tap. They should be nice and dry tomorrow. I'll put them back tomorrow afternoon, and then Mrs. Cruncher can take them back into her friend at work. But then saying that, I'm not going to get to give it a play this evening. No, I need to get them dried off pretty quick, really. Right, sorry about that, it's probably made you all want to go to the toilet. Just going to leave them in the little basket just on top of the boiler. Right, Coco? Is that okay with you? Good old Coco. Right. Right, Coco. Don't you let Louise in, will you? She's there waiting. She's a nightmare. She's a crazy psycho chicken. She comes in and eats the dog foods, and if they're lying down, she'll come and peck the dogs. She's fearless chicken. The fearless chicken. Right. What else have we got to tell you or show you then, I wonder? Oh, hello. I'm pictured. Can I do 400 hertz? I'm not sure what that is. Eight-bit show and tell. Yeah, very good, Mick. Wish it was easier to get potentiometers with built-in on and off switches. You can get them, Timothy. Depends what value you're after. RS and that still do them, mate. You're back on the pinball next. Excellent. Harvey, how you doing, mate? Got back from your mum's. What a summer. It's a wet summer here, mate. I don't know what it's like down your way, but tis a wet one here, mate. Yeah, you can get the potentiometers. If I can dig some out. Yeah, this type here, you can get these switch potentiometers, Timothy. You want one for the RP30. What's the value of that? That's 5k, isn't it? I think it's 4.7k is the... Yeah, so that's a 4.7k there, Timothy. You can hear it. Oh, it's actually far now by the looks of it. Anybody else got any queries or questions, and we'll answer them. I've got a part number here for you, Timothy. So if it is the 5k, that's the Farnell part number 189847. You can see for that's 4k7. Oh, hang on, no, that's 47k, 50k. I can't remember what the value of it is now. Let me see. Have I got an RP30 book here anywhere? I think it's 5k, isn't it, the RP30, from memory. Let me see if I can find it a minute. Let me see if I can find it a minute. RP, I think Simon, aka Spanky's Magic Piano, he's doing one of those at the moment. I sent him over the manual the other day. RP30, let's have a look then. Okay. Let's have a look. We want the volume pot. No, that's not the one. There we are. Volume pot. 50k. Now, just let me make sure that is the right one. No. Yes, no, yes, no. So volume pot is not on the amplifier, it's pre the amplifier, so it's going to be here. Oh, it is 50k. Yeah, you are. So it's 50k. So that is the correct part number there, Timothy. That I give to you just now. So yeah, that is the part number, 47k. Spanky's there. How you doing, mate? So that will do it. That's a 47k. You can't get a 50k. You can get a 50k if you want to go and have one specially made, Timothy. But they do those in a 4k7. They do those in a 4k7 and a 47k. No worries, mate. How is the RP30 coming on then, Simon? How is it coming on? Just putting this back in its box. So yeah, you should be able to get that still on in for now. I think if you've got an account, it's not crazy money for postage, just a couple quid, I think, a handling fee. If you haven't got an account, it could be expensive, so you have to let me know, Timothy, and I'll send you one on, mate. I'll order up another one because I get charged, I think it's £2 postage or handling fee, whatever they call it. Or if you haven't got an account, set an account up and get it a bit cheaper. We don't get it cheaper, we don't pay the postage. All right. You're starting this week. Oh, RP18. Yeah, sorry. Same thing, really. The RP18 is the FM and AM. RP30 is just AM, isn't it? Getting confused. I'm getting confused, Simon, you know? Good stuff. Raining again for Les. Yeah, it's not raining here at the moment, so Les must have got it instead of us now. Les isn't a million miles away. What else have I got to show you? Not a lot. I've done nothing more with a microscope at the moment. I've got to do a bit of research on the camera just to find out what I'm doing wrong with the camera. But it is working. I've used it this week to look at this this ECU. I don't know if anybody's ever seen inside one of these, whether you want to have a quick look inside. Show you inside quickly. The controllers for this should be dry in time for me to have a look later. But yeah, that's the inside of this BMW 6 Series airbag ECU. There's not a lot in it. I mean, it's mainly ICs, as you'd expect, surface mount stuff. As I say, I've had it under the microscope. I can't see anything wrong. The only thing I would say is these are very, very slightly bulging. Very slightly. You can sort of tell it's not quite a straight line on it. It's sort of like a bump. If you look at this one, it's not quite straight. If I push my thumb on that, it probably would. Yeah, so you can see it's just lifted very slightly. So that's straight again now. And this one's the same. You see it's not quite straight. So I put my thumb on it and push it back down. It's straight again. So they haven't vented, but they have expanded. So probably the values have dropped on these, I would expect. And they're both Nichicon 4700 at 35 volts. But this board, can you see the shine on that? It's been lacquered to death. I mean, look at the lacquer that they've got on that. you just never see that, do you? That quite that bad, unless it's for a boat. So they've really gone to town with the lacquer on this. But you know, you've got lots more ICs underneath. As I say, it could just be one of those capacitors causing it to fail, but it could be any one of those ICs or transistors gone. So I think Stu's made the correct decision going with a new. Well, it's not a new one, I don't think. I think it's a used one, but you've got a couple SMD caps on here as well. I mean, these should be okay now. The older ones with the unreliable ones, but certainly got some conformal coating on that one, hasn't it? Really, they've really lacquered the hell out of that. So yeah, I didn't get a chance to work on that, but not to say that I can't work on it, because I don't think Stuart wants it back. But yeah, it's like a hard varnish, that coating. He bought some batteries from them ages ago, but they might not have your details. Well, as I say, if you want me to send you one of those, I will, Timothy, and I'll just charge you what it costs me plus the postage, really. But the trouble is you end up paying two lots of postage. You have to pay the postage for me to get it from Farnow and then from me to you. So it'll probably still work out cheaper, mind you. Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying, Ralph. So yeah, the only other thing that's come in this week really is that that power supply for a Sony 2001D. Saw it on eBay. I've got them on my watch list because I've got quite a few of them, and I've only got probably 2 power supplies for 5 radios. So I picked up another one in the week, which arrived. These do tend to have dodgy caps in them, so for those that don't know what I'm going on about, it's one of these 1.5 volt Sony with a variable tap-in for the transformer. Some's even got the plastic film still on it. That. So serial number on this was 91K. That's 91,000. Yeah, AC140W for those that have got a 2001D and want to power it off of the mains. You still need the computer batteries in it, but one of this will save you a lot of money on batteries, so worth looking out on eBay for. Not much to them inside. I'll pop the cover off for you. We'll have a look. Yeah, it's linear. I know that Rob's radio would like one of these. They do come up from time to time on eBay. Problem is, people sell the radios and they can't find the power supplies at the time, and then they come across them and realise actually that's worth a bit of money. So there's a pretty basic linear power supply inside these. Nothing too fancy. Little transformer. Quite neatly put together. What's that? 3300 at 10 volt. Rubicon. I think there's another cap in here somewhere, isn't there? There's no caps at mains potential in here, so it's not going to shock me or anything like that. There's only the one cap in it. I have had these before that they've gone a bit erratic because of this cap. I was trying to think if there is another cap on the board there. I thought there was another cap in these. I can't see off the top of my head. We'll take this one out and have a look at it. 3300 at 10 volts. Let's whip that out a minute. We got half an hour. Let's pop it out. Have a look. See. You built an 18 volt linear PSU for your RP30s yesterday in a die-cast box. Nice one, Timothy. Did you video that, mate? Is that something that's going to be on your channel? Should be loose now. Okay, and that funny symbol there's the negative. Okay, last chance capacitor bingo then. 3300. Place your bets. 3300 microfarads. Yeah, let's just say it should be on the 240 volt setting. It's on the 230 volt setting at the moment, but our mains voltage out here is about 230. So yeah, Les is quite right, it ought to be on the 240 really. So to change that, you just stick a screwdriver in it and you just flick it to the 240 position. I suppose it just stresses it a little bit too much less, doesn't it? Right, what do we think then? It's a good quality cap. It is a Rubicon. It's only rated at 85 degrees C though. So we really want 100 degrees C one in there for a lifetime. 3300 at 10 volts. Place your bets. We've got to do a giveaway again at some stage. I need to do a Patreon giveaway next, I believe. Patreon and channel members only. So if you're a Patreon or a channel member, you can get a chance to win one of Derek's transmitters, which will be coming up very soon. Sandra, how's Ben's shiny voice coming on? Microfarads. Microfarads. Excellent. Theo's in. Hi, Theo. Did I miss you earlier? Sorry, mate, if I did. Have I got any 3300s though? I have, but I don't know what voltage they are. Oh, yeah, I got some 3300s. What I say that's 10 volt? Yeah, there we go. I got some specifically for the job lot. So we've got a brand new Nichicon PW that we can compare it with in a minute. In fact, we've got another Rubicon as well. That's 16 volts. Yeah, it's a bit lumpy. He's working vigorously. Keep him at it, Sandra. Right, let's have a look. See what it's going to do. Well, to be fair, that's not far off, is it? It's gone a little bit low, but not. That's bang on, really. So 3270 was multi. 3190. That's 30 out. I think Dave Rhodes might be closer. Hang on, 263. Hang on. We got a lot of close ones there. There's not many that have dipped underneath. There's Dave Rhodes, 3190. 3270, that's 50. I think it's Dave Rhodes. You have to get him doing the pans next, Sandra. Get him doing the pans. Get him to do the pans. So let's see what a brand new one's like. And what was the ESR on that one? Just let me have a look at that again. 0.6. So it's quite a low ESR. It's a good quality cap. 3220. Let's try a brand new one. $31.21. What do you think? Just put the old one back. Well done, Dave. No, we'll stick a new one in it anyway. We'll pop a new one in it. It'll last another 30 odd years, or however old these are. But yeah, we could have left that cap in there. I don't know how long it would have lasted. Might have gone on another 20 odd years. You never know. But this one should do the biz. Let's pop that one in. I'll make sure I know which way around this goes now. Goes like that. There we are. Even done the cap in the power supply, look. We're just having a quick look at this Sony power supply, Mick. Just bought it in for my 2001 Ds. Just popped a new capacitor in it. Set it to 240 volts now, look, for Les. There you go, Les, all done. There we are. Now I've got a couple more of these. I wonder what settings there is on those then, Les. I expect they're all set at that. Let me see if I can find another one here to hand. Yeah, that one's set at 240. I've got one more there. Set to 240. I've got another one here somewhere. What's that one set at? Yeah, that was set at 240. So the other ones are set at 240. Just that one there. Just come in, Les. What we ought to do is just plug it in and have a look to see what's outputting. It might be outputting absolutely zero, in which case we've got more work to do. I'll stick it on the isolation transformer for a minute. So let's bump it up to 240. Now let's put its rating and see what it's chucking out. So it's non-regulated, this supply, so it's supposed to put out 4.5 volts at DC. I think it's non-regulated. So it's supposed to be putting out 4.5 volts DC, and it is center pin negative. And it's putting out 6.2, which is about normal for these, to be fair. They all chuck out around 6.5, 7 volts, so I'd say it's unregulated. If I pop the power supply down to, say, 230 volts, that should drop. I don't know. Maybe it is regulated then. I'm down to 150 volts now, and it's still chucking out 6.2, that. So let's chuck it up to 240. Still chucking out 6.2, so it must be regulated then. Must be a regulator in there somewhere. Interesting. I wonder if there is a schematic for an AC 140W power supply. Let's say AC-140W. It's Sony though, isn't it? What's that one? AC... No, I don't think it's that one. No. I thought it might have been one. It might have been in one of the Sony manuals, maybe. Radio Museum have got it, but I don't think they got any schematics. Oh, it is unregulated. Afternoon to you, Dave. Yeah, it's supposed to be 4.5 volts. Have I got a 2000 and... Let me go and grab a radio and we'll load it up. Mind you, saying that, I can't test it then really when it's loaded up, can I? I don't know if I've got a working 2001D actually. Most of them are in pieces because I've been refurbing them. Got 2001D there that's not in pieces. What's this one? What's this one? No. No. My 2001Ds are I've got 3 of them here, I think. And I've got Les's here as well. Les has got an intermittent problem. Well, not an intermittent, but a long-standing problem with this. In that it's got the crackles. I don't know what it is, but Adele reckons it was noisy trimmer caps. So we have got the trimmer caps in to do that one. Well, really, that's about it for today, people. We've had fun, haven't we? We've had fun. I've enjoyed that little Nintendo NES. I'm going to get that back together once it's dried off, and I shall get it down with the tally, and I'll have a little play on that later on. So that's good bit of fun, that. And the light's not quite here because I've got the microscope in front of me, which is what you can see just sort of here. This is the microscope pushed conveniently out of frame. Oh, it's moving now. I've disturbed it now. It's moving. That I've really got to get that sorted. That has got to be priority to getting that sorted because I can't have it like it is. It's I shouldn't have touched it, should I? That's just tighten that up there. That's gonna, yeah, okay. Well, on that note, I'll call it a day. Thanks to everybody today, and to our new subscribers, super chats, tips, much appreciated. Yeah, I think she's going to kick my ass, to be honest, Joe. She really will. You have to rewind. Yes, Spanky, you have retro gaming, man. I'm surprised you haven't seen it. But we did sort it in the end, Spanky. I've just got to get controllers back together. Thanks very much, all. So I'll catch you next Sunday, and we'll probably be carrying on with Chris's realistic patrolman, which needs a recap. So, cheers, everybody. Catch you next Sunday. Have a good week. And don't do anything I wouldn't do, which is probably not a lot, to be fair. Bye for now.